we're going to do a little polishing today. I've had some questions. Of course, it's kind of hard to think about it because I've done this so many times, but a lot of people haven't, so I've skipped some areas. If you want to, the best way to polish a panel is, if you can, put it back on the bike, because you'll have, it's the best place for it to hold it. Of course, this one you can't do that well. What we're going to use to polish, first thing that we need is, you'll get your rough compound. See, that's blue paint. That's not a, I didn't get hurt with it. Then we use a finer polish, and then we use a scratch remover. Now this is typical. It's not called scratch remover in the auto body world. It's called like liquid ebony, and this is called white lightning, or scratch and swirl remover. Then we use these puff pads. You get them for a couple bucks at grocery store. You use one of these for whichever one that you want to use, but you don't mix them up. And then you have a little pail of water, which we'll have here. And after we get all done with it, then we'll use some good wax on it. This is some turtle wax. And someone asked me about Terrence asked me about the sandpaper. I use 3M. 3M makes, put it this way, 3M makes the glue that holds the plates on the space shuttle, so they know what they're doing. This, when we get down to sanding, you want to use 1,000 if you know what you're doing. Then I'll go to 1,500, and it'll say it on the back of the deal. And 2,000 is the final. The reason that we do this is because the finer that you can get the scratches in the whatever you're sanding, the less the polish has to take out. So I'm going to set all this up, and I'm going to start with a little bit of, it's hard to do this one-handed, but I'm going to start with a little sponge and some, get it a little bit wet, and then I'll put my rough polish on in a small area. And remember, after you put the rough polish on, you have to get a rag with some water and take that grit off, because if you use a finer polish, you're just grinding thicker polish into the smaller. All right, we'll see what we can do here. Okay, I've already done the 3 steps or 4 steps. First of all, I used a little bit of the coarse compound, which is red, and then I wiped the panel off with the water. Then I used some of the fine polish, wiped it off. Then I used the 3M scratch remover. And after that, I used a little bit of the Carnauba wax, which is, I've had this wax for like 10 years. And I want to show you what the jewel looks like beneath the rough exterior. Now if you look very closely, I've just done this one corner, and I've just rubbed it by hand. But if you look very closely, you can see a complete reflection in it. And I'll try and get around here. I can't get the depth of the color with the fluorescent lights I have, but you can get an idea of what it's going to look like underneath. All your preparation will show through. See if I can get a better look on that. And all those lines you see in there, those are reflections from my cabinets in the background. So if I can get over here, you can see better look at it. And it is, if you put your hand in it, which I'll show you, look at the reflection. Not my hand, but the reflection. No. Let's see if I can do it. Maybe on this one? Yeah, there you go. Maybe. Let's see. Shoot. You can see my hand in it, just like glass. Hi there. Anyone can do this if you just take your time. Like I said, the best way to do it is prepare your panel, get it down to 2,000, and then start using your polish. But always wash with water between the polish, and don't let the grits touch each other. Same with polishing aluminum. Now when I go to polish the front face here, I will connect it to the front of the bike, and I will use that as a stand because it's a perfect stand for it. Now this panel is not perfectly smooth, especially like I like it. It's 50 degrees here. I don't know how many Celsius that is, but in the summer, more reducer is going to dry out of this panel, and when it does, the paint will shrink. When the paint shrinks, I will get rough spots, all kinds of little pebbling, because when the reducer leaves the paint, something's got to fill a hole. But that's how you do it, and I will continue to work on this. I don't think I'll do a video of it, but that's the one section what it looks like with it all polished. It looks kind of dull compared to the rest of it, but once it's all done, it'll be it'll look like a mirror finish. So that's how you do it, and you want to get 3M products because you're the best if you can get them in your country. 3M's been making auto body products for 40 years. All their stuff is top notch. A little bit more expensive, but it's top notch. And if you want to get the 3M products, go to an auto body store. You'll find a lot of neat things in there, and they don't just sell to a painter. They have professional stuff. They also have pinstriping, clear coating, paint, anything to do with automotive painting. Just like a hardware store, but on a lot bigger scale. And they're kind of neat to go into. So that's what the polish looks like, and I'll post this. And anyone can do it, just all it takes is practice.